Hello, everyone. Happy Wednesday night. Welcome to Unapologetically Keto. My name is Ralph Peterson, and I have a big show for you tonight. I got an exciting show. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to be answering some questions that I've been getting lately. What break your fast? I have so many people asking me so many things about keto. I'm so excited to be in a position where I can actually provide some insights as to what this whole thing keto actually is, what it means, what it isn't. But first, let's go into it today. I did break my fast, and so this is I did my blood around 4 o'clock this afternoon, and those are my numbers: 79 glucose, 2.9 ketones for a DBR, Dr. Boz ratio of 27, which is phenomenal. I mean, these are the numbers I want to see all the time. But I got to tell you, look at this. This was yesterday. My glucose was 104, 104, 1.4 ketones, which is fine. You know, anything over one is nutritional state of ketosis, so I'm not complaining. But what the heck is this 104 in glucose? And the reason why I'm so curious and curious in the way where I'm just kind of like, it's like when I step on the scale every morning. I step on the scale every morning. I don't record it. Every Saturday is when I record. So every Saturday, well, sometimes Sunday. If I don't have a good reading on Saturday, I'll wait till Sunday and see if that's a good reading, to be honest. I'm always trying to get the good reading. Whatever. Don't judge me. Um, but I do step on the scale every single day because I'm just curious. I'm just curious. And this morning, by the way, you know what? I even took a picture of it. I was so excited about my scale this morning. Let me show it to you because I think it's picture worthy, to be quite honest with you. Let me see. You know, gosh, forget it. iPhone makes an update and they're like, oh, you know what we're going to do? We're going to change everything you know about the iPhone. Well, thank you, iPhone. I have no idea how to do anything anymore. It's driving me crazy. I don't even know where to find my pictures that I took today. Whatever, doesn't matter. I'll figure it out eventually. 200.4 this morning. 200 pounds, 200.4 pounds. That's the lowest weight I've been since I got out of the Marine Corps at a boot camp in the Marine Corps in 1998. 7, 8, somewhere in there. That's the lowest. That is an amazing weight. Anyway, what I'm even talking about is I had 104 glucose yesterday. And I took my blood late. I normally do it around 4 o'clock. I totally forgot because I was fasting. And when you fast, I mean, you just don't think of anything food related, which, by the way, I should also mention. I know I'm all over the place already. This week's fasting. Now, every week is getting easier. This is my 15th week. I think my 15th week of fasting. This was the easiest so far. Like, I didn't even realize I was fasting. I was like, oh yeah, I totally forgot I was fasting. No food noise. No, I wasn't hungry the entire time. I barely ate any salt, which is my trusty go-to when I'm fasting if I feel little hunger pains. So yesterday, I take my blood glucose and my ketones at it might have been like 7:30. It was late, understandably, 7:30 last night. But that would have put me at 48 hours, maybe even 50 hours of fasting. 50 hours without food and my glucose was 104. What gives? I don't know. I mean, you know what I mean? That's my point. I still don't understand an awful lot about this. I just ordered a book on the liver. I swear at the end of all this, I'm going to be able to take my boards and become a certified doctor. I think that's going to be my next calling in life because I am so confused and I don't want to be. I want to know what the heck is going on. When people go like, well, how does that work? I want to be able to go, oh, it's like this and this and this. And I can do that on a few things keto related, but not on everything keto related. Not on everything. Anyway, I'm so happy you're here. I'm so happy to be here. It is the day before Christmas, December 24th, 2025. To put a little timestamp on it, I am in my mother-in-law's basement, shooting from the in-laws' basement this evening. And what's funny about that is we always come up to my mother-in-law's for the Christmas holiday, and my mother-in-law, my wife, they're not Christian, they're Jewish, and so it's funny always to come up and to spend Christmas with them because I'm a big Christian. I'm huge, and Christmas is my favorite holiday. And to come up here, and of course, for those of you who are Jewish or have some Jewish friends, you know that the Jewish Christmas dinner is Chinese food. That's right. It is Chinese food, which is no bueno, no good for this guy. I will not be having Chinese food for Christmas this year. I can guarantee that. Anyway, here I am in the basement. My new time, 7 o'clock live on Wednesday nights. Please, please, please continue to tune in and subscribe. And, quite honestly, just on that note, if you here's the thing. Here, let me just explain what the thumbs up button is as opposed to the subscribe button, as opposed to the subscribe and the alert bell. The thumbs up button really just says, "Hey, I see you. You know what? I saw you were live, or I saw your videos, and I got a little bit after. I thought it was really great. So I just want to give you a like, hey, just it's like a wave. It's like, hey, we see you. You're doing a great job. That's it. It's very non-committal, but it's super appreciative. The subscribe button, on the other hand, is like, you know what you said resonated with me, and I might want to check back in. So let me hit the subscribe button just so that I, you know, can find you when I'm like, what am I looking for? I'm trying to find something on, because I do it all the time. I'm on YouTube all the time, and I subscribe to things because I want to be able to find them again. Like, so I can go to my subscriptions and go, oh, what were they called? Oh, that's what they were called, right? So that's what the subscribe button really is. It's to bookmark it for future reference. If you got anything out of these videos, if you get anything out of my stories, I got to tell you, with peace and love, entire point, my entire point of coming on Christmas Eve, just coming after a 7-hour drive, 6.5-hour drive to get to my mother-in-law's, is because I am on a mission to help at least one person. I hope just one person tunes in. One person looks at my before and after pictures and goes, all right, this guy might know a little bit of what he's talking about, and I'm in. I want to feel better. I want to look better. I want to regain control of my life. I'm just looking to help at least, I would love to have help millions of people, but I'd be happy with one. So that's why I'm here. And for those of you who tune in, you watch, you see me, you go, you know what? I need to pay attention to this guy. I need to follow this guy because what he's saying and the life he's living and the mission he's on, I'm here for it. That's when you hit not only the thumbs up, not only the subscribe, but then you also hit the bell. You hit the little bell. That way you know every single time that I come live. You know every single time I put a YouTube video up. And I'm committed. I am going to put a YouTube video up every single day. Every single day. Every time I learn something new, I'm going to share it with you because that is my uno numero number one mission right this second. I mean, I weigh 200 pounds. Did I tell you? 200.4. As of 6 o'clock this morning, I got up like I do every day. I brush my teeth. I go to the bathroom. I pull out the scale. It's under the little cabinet. I pull it out. I tap on it so it comes to life. I swear this is true. It sounds stupid, but I exhale all my breath because air has weight. And ain't nobody got time for air weight. I step on the scale and I hold my breath. And I look down and it said 200. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, I might be on the verge. I mean, I don't want to jinx it. I'm a few days away from Saturday. And quite honestly, I'm traveling until Sunday night. So I won't be home until Sunday night, maybe even Monday morning, depending on weather, because I'm in upstate New York and I'm going to Vermont. So like to be getting home on Sunday night, but we might not be able to make it until Monday because they're expecting a lot of snow up here. Either way, I won't be able to weigh in until Monday, maybe Tuesday. Who knows? Okay, so I'm not going to be weighing in this Saturday. But, ladies and gentlemen, I am this close to being under 200 pounds. I don't even know what to say. I can't believe it either. I can't believe it either. It is amazing. And I want you to be on this journey with me. I want you to see a number or to go under a number that you can't believe. I remember, I said this before, this is my 30th year dieting or being overweight. And as you can imagine, I've tried so many diets and earnestly tried so many diets. Atkins. And I'm going to tell you why Atkins didn't work for me. It's the same reason why carnivore doesn't work for me. I think carnivore is the way to go. It is the way to go, but it's not the way to start, if that makes any sense. I've tried paleo diet. I've tried the Mediterranean diet, the whole 360 diet, the F Factor diet, Weight Watchers, Jenny Craig, Deal a Meal with Richard Simmons. I mean, I've tried them all. And I even tried Herbalife. What other diets am I missing that I've tried? Body for Life. Well, Body for Life. So there is a guy, his name's Bill Phillips. And oh my God, do I love me some Bill Phillips. So Bill Phillips had a contest. I don't even know if he still does anymore, but when I was in the Marine Corps, Bill Phillips had this Body for Life challenge where it was a workout challenge and an eating challenge, and you had to eat 6 times a day, and you had to work out 6 days a week. So 3 days a week you would be working out legs or upper body, and it was rotate, and then 3 days a week you would be doing cardio, and everything was super timed, and there's so many carbs, so many proteins, so many whatever, 6 meals a day. The results that I got from that competition, I did that competition for 12 weeks. That was awesome. I didn't, he's got these before and after pictures, and everybody does, where you have this guy who is 300 pounds, big fat guy, and then 12 weeks, he's got 6-pack abs. And of course, I bought that hook, line, and sinker. I'm like, oh yeah, I mean, if you tell me that if I do these things in 12 weeks, I will look like that guy, I'm like, I'm in. So I do I don't have a cheat day. Well, I did have a cheat day because you could cheat on Body for Life. You can eat whatever you want on Sundays. And I gorged. Man, it was fast food galore all day on Sundays. Probably didn't help my cause. But my point is, at the end of the 12 weeks, I was the fittest I've been, the strongest I've been. I looked the best that I've looked in a long time, yet I was still disappointed because I didn't get the 6-pack abs. My expectations sometimes are, I generally buy into, you know what I mean? Like you can tell gullible people. Let me raise my hand. I can be quite gullible. And the reason I'm saying all this is because somebody asked me this week when I was talking about keto, and by the way, if you get 2 seconds alone with me, I'm going to bring up the ketogenic diet. I'm going to bring the ketogenic diet. Keto isn't a diet, by the way. I should talk about that a little bit. But first, somebody was asking me this week. They said, where do you think you should start? Like if somebody's new on keto or wants to do keto, where like, or is keto for everybody? And, I got to say that I'll tell you why most diets didn't work for me. Weight Watchers did, by the way. Weight Watchers worked for me like lickety split, like a charm. Lost 150 pounds on Weight Watchers. I would highly recommend Weight Watchers as a great starting point for anybody who wants to regain some control, to learn some things about their body, and of course, lose weight. Weight Watchers is very, very structured, very, very helpful. Atkins didn't work for me for a couple of reasons. Number one, the biggest reason, forget the metabolic reason why it didn't work, because now I know there is a metabolic reason it didn't work. There's a metabolic reason that carnivore doesn't work for me yet. I think it will work for me. I'm getting there. That's my ultimate goal is to be carnivore, but I'm simply not there yet. And I just have to respect and understand my own limitations. And I know I'm not there yet. So somebody was asking, what diet should they start? Do you think you should just go right into keto diet? And the answer is no. I don't, or at least for me, I couldn't have just jumped into a ketogenic diet. I had to start where I started. And again, let me try to preface or explain why I started with why Weight Watchers was successful for me, because it was the only diet that closely aligned with my current, at the time, my current eating habits. The food I ate, the times I ate, all worked on Weight Watchers. There wasn't a lot of change. I didn't have to go through a lot of change to start Weight Watchers. The biggest change that I had to go through, and that you'll have to go through if Weight Watchers is what you want to do, and if you've never done it before, is understanding that there is a certain amount of food that you want to have a day, and you want to Goldilocks this thing. You don't want to go over, but you don't want to go under. So you want to be able to go, okay. And they don't do it in calories. They make the calorie, the calorie content, the fat, the carb, the protein. They turn those three numbers into what they call a point number. And it's with that point number, so you get a certain number of points. When I first started doing Weight Watchers, I had 63 points, which I didn't think was a lot, but apparently that's almost, I guess, the maximum amount of points you can get on Weight Watchers. Because I knew a lady who started Weight Watchers and her points were like 26. So she could only have 26 points and I could have 63 points. I was like, okay, I probably shouldn't complain. And then all your foods have a point value, and you just simply need to not overeat your food. So you know how many points you get in a day, 63. And then I started to figure, I'm like, okay, so I have 63 points a day. That's 21 points a meal if I eat 3 meals a day. So 21 points for breakfast, 21 points for lunch, 21 points for dinner. And it didn't matter what food I ate. If I wanted a slice of pizza, I could have a slice of pizza. I just have to go account for the right amount of points for it, which would be a lot of points. But still, my point is that on Weight Watchers, the reason it works so well for me initially is because I didn't have to change a lot of things. And that's what I think is the best way to approach any kind of lifestyle change, is to try to find something that's reasonable to you. Again, I couldn't do Atkins because, I tried doing Atkins, but I was so addicted to carbs. I was so addicted to bread. Everybody I knew, with Atkins, it sounds so stupid now to me. But at the time, the Atkins thing was you had to go without carbs for 14 days. I think it was 14 days. And I got to tell you, those were the hardest 14 days of my life. Here I am. This is my 15th or 16th week of having zero carbs. The carbs that I do have is from a vegetable, but zero fruit, zero bread, zero pasta, popcorn, rice, potato, you name it. I haven't had a French fry. or a tater tot or a baked potato or a piece of pasta in 16 weeks. And I have zero intention of having any anyway, ever again. I'm out. I don't want it. It doesn't make me feel good. It doesn't fuel my body. But when I was addicted to sugar, when I was addicted to carbs, when carbs was a very big staple in my life, I mean, going 14 days without a carb, not only did I struggle like white knuckle doing it, but then when I could eat carbs on day number 15, I just basically overate carbs and then passed out in the chair and then woke up and ate more carbs and then passed out again and then woke up and ate more carbs. So find a diet that makes sense to you. But I want to share this with you. Dr. Boz has a book called The Keto Continuum, and you got to buy this book. You have to buy this book. Go to look up Dr. Boz. It's Dr. Boz MD. No, what is her? Hold on, I'm going to tell you what her website is. It is, because it's not drboz.com. I always think it is, but it isn't. It's Boz MD. BOZ. Here, let me show you her website. Okay, this is her website. This is Dr. Boz. Boz MD. Okay. Boz MD. And this book, The Keto Continuum, where is it? Would it be under her favorites? Under her? I know she has a book club because you know who's listed in her book club? Yours truly. That's right. She is so sweet. She has listed my book, Adventures in Dietland, here. Where is her book? All right. She doesn't even list her own book here. Dr. Boz, you got to list your own book here. Okay. Where is shop? Dr. Boz products. Here we go. Okay. Oh, any which way you can. You got to buy that book too. This is an amazing book. But let me go to all books. Here it is, The Keto Continuum. You got to get this book. In this book, she shares with you something I'm going to go ahead and share with you. She shares with you this Keto Continuum guideline. And this is where all of us start right here. I'm going to change the color of my pen to red so you can see it. Is right here. It's at the beginner level. The beginner level. Here at the beginner level, what you need to simply do is eat every 2 to 4 hours. Eat every 2 to 4 hours. Step 2 is eat less than 20 total grams of carbs, and then eat every 6 to 8 hours. So you're moving from eating 3, 4, 5 times a day to eating 3 times a day. You're eating in the morning, you're eating at lunch, you're eating at dinner. Trying to keep that dinner, between 5 and 6 p.m. You want to go from your fueled 100% by glucose to you're starting to reduce carbs. So you're forcing your body to start using fat as fuel. That's what we want. We want your body to switch off. And by the way, your body is made to burn both fuels. Your body is built to burn glucose as a fuel. And it is built to switch over in scarcity times to burn fat. The problem is, when was the last time you had a scarcity of food? Never, right? I mean, obviously. So you've only been doing glucose, glucose, glucose. And here's the other thing too. You want to hear something wild? Here's a fact that'll blow your mind. You cannot burn fat if you're burning glucose. So you have to get into a state of ketosis, i.e. fat burning, in order to burn fat. Otherwise, all you do is burn glucose and store fat. I always believed, I heard 100 times, calories in, calories out. Calories in, calories out doesn't mean squat if the calories you're consuming is glucose, because there is just simply no way for you to burn fat. if you're burning glucose. Anyway, so then if you do this, eat 20 carbs, under total carbs a day, and you go to this 6 to 8 hour window, something interesting is going to happen. You're going to accidentally miss a meal. That's exactly what happened to me. I accidentally missed lunch. I had no idea. Look up, it's 2:30, 3 o'clock. I'm like, whoa, I didn't even eat lunch. Aha, that's the thing. And then you're going to get to eating only 2 meals a day. You're going to be going, okay, this is working really well for me. I'm eating less than 20 grams of carbs a day, which means I'm eating more fat and more protein. It's keeping me fuller longer. And before you know it, you are automatically put into this 16-8 window, which means just simply that you are eating 2 meals a day. Let's say you're eating lunch and then you're eating dinner, and then you're not eating after dinner until lunch, and it's 16 hours later. That's a 16 and 8 fast, which means 16 hours you're fasting, 8 hours within that 8 hour window you're eating. Then you do advanced 16-8, and then you start going all in with OMAD. That's 1 meal a day, all in 1 hour. All in 1 hour. And then you get to the advanced 23-1 to the 36-hour fast. Every week you're fasting for 36 hours, to doing it without a celebration meal, to a 48-hour fast, to where I am right this second, a 72-hour fast. This is my 15th week of following. By the way, I started way up here. That's where I started. I started way up here. This whole accidental skipped a meal, that happened to me in 2024. Now, I didn't meet Dr. Boz and start doing Dr. Boz's program until September of 2025. And so I was already here by September 2025. I was already at the 2 meals a day. I was already at the 16-8 fasting pretty comfortably because I had already reduced most of the carbs from my life. She brought me to the advanced 16-8, to the OMAD, to the 36 hours, the 48 hours, to the 72-hour fast, which is where I'm at right now. So she's brought me from, let me go back to my screen. She's brought me from the beginning state, or, like almost in the middle of the beginning stages, to where I am right now. And where I am right now, I am feeling, just in case I haven't said it enough, I mean, amazing. And so a lot of people are like, where should you start? If keto is like, I could never do keto. I know people who like simply think, they look at it like a cult. They're like, I could never do no carbs. Okay, then. Okay. Then do a diet that closely resembles whatever you do right now, with the idea of starting to pay attention more. There's this other study, this other thing that's really, really fascinating to me, and that's about celiac disease, or people who claim that they have an allergy to wheat, a gluten allergy. The study that I read about gluten allergies blew my mind. This is what it said. It said most people who claim to have a gluten allergy actually don't. They actually don't have an intolerance for gluten. However, there is this interesting side effect that happens to all people when they believe, whether they do have a gluten allergy or they don't. If they simply believe that they do, this interesting thing happens. They all lose weight. Even if they are not gluten allergic, even if they don't have an actual allergy, they still lose weight. And you want to go, why? What kind of phantom is that? It's because they started to pay attention to their food, to their intake. And even the slightest amount of paying attention to what it is you're eating and how much you're eating and the time you spend eating will have a positive impact on your overall health, which is quite amazing. But let me go back to this other thing that I'm going to admit that I wouldn't have understood 16 weeks ago. I wouldn't have understood it. So If you don't understand it yet, let's just roll with it. You'll understand it soon enough. Keto is not a diet. It's not a diet. And I'm not talking about like it's a lifestyle. Like, you know what I mean? Like, to go back to Body for Life, it's called Body for Life because Bill Phillips, he was a big fan of going, this is not an exercise program. This is not an eating program. This is not something you do for 12, 14, 16 weeks and forget. This is what you do for the rest of your life. This is called Body for Life for a reason. I did it for 12 weeks, didn't get six-pack abs, didn't do it anymore. All right. Have never had six-pack abs. I probably did when I was like 7 or 8. I think I was pretty ripped when I was 7 or 8, but not since then. Not since then. Maybe one day. I'm working on it. I did just do my grip strength, which was wild because I have a goal. Here's a little exercise goal. I want to do pull-ups. You know, when I was in the Marine Corps, even in the Marine Corps, I think the most pull-ups I could do is like maybe 16, 15, 16 pull-ups. And I did them like this as opposed to like this. And everyone's like, you got to do them like this, you know, back strength instead of bicep strength. Well, I just never been able to do it. And so now I'm like, wouldn't it be nice if I could do pull-ups again? And of course, I can't do not a single pull-up. All right. With peace and love, can't do a single one. But I was reading about like these trainers are like, how do you train to try to get a pull-up in? And the first thing they were saying is like grip strength is important. So can you hang from a bar and hold yourself up? And just a few days ago, I've been doing it for like months. You know, just go and I get on that bar and I just like try my hardest to hold on. I didn't reach the minute mark. It's just so weak. How terrible. I wasn't able to hold on for a full minute until a couple of days ago. A couple of days ago, I finally, for the first time, held on for 60 seconds. And I mean, my fingers were falling off by the 60 seconds went up. And then the next day I did it again and I did it 65 seconds. So a minute and 5 seconds the next day. So I'm on my way. Not a pull up. I know I'm still not pulling anything, but grip strength is getting there. Anyway. So I've always, here's the thing about keto is not a diet. Diets are by nature, by very definition, diets are designed to help you lose weight and get healthy, whatever get healthy means to you. But for me anyway, I've always looked at diets as two things. Number one, something I needed to do in order to lose weight. And number two, something I was not going to enjoy doing. And therefore, I would have to do it again and again and again, you know. Which is why I've been dieting for 30 years. However, keto, if you want to go on a ketogenic diet, the point of the ketogenic diet is not to lose weight. In fact, if you do lose weight on a ketogenic diet, and you will, if you do lose weight on a ketogenic diet, chalk it up to the same obscure abnormal effect as those who believe that they have a gluten allergy when they really don't. That's all it is. If you lose weight on a ketogenic diet, it's an accident, for lack of a better way of putting it, because being on a ketogenic diet is not to lose weight. That is not the point of a ketogenic diet. It does happen. I am living proof. As of Saturday, when I weighed in, I weighed 204. I lost 58 pounds. 58 pounds in 15 weeks of being on a ketogenic diet. So you're going to go like, well, that's a weight loss diet. No, it's not a weight loss diet. I did lose weight. Yes, because I'm metabolically in a state of ketosis. And when you're metabolically in a state of ketosis, your body doesn't hold on to fat. It uses it. It uses it. It actually takes the stored fat that you have around your midsection and it goes, oh, yeah, good. Thanks for holding on to this for me. Let me take that. Oh, I'm going to take a little bit of that because it's using it for fuel, right? So it's not about losing weight. By the way, I am so excited that if I get to 202, like I'm hoping I get 200 this week, but if I get to 202, that'll be 60 pounds in 16 weeks. Forget about it. What are we talking about? If that doesn't get you excited, I don't know what does. But again, not about losing weight. It is about being in a healthy metabolic state. If you are not in ketosis, nutritional ketosis, above a 1, when you check your ketones above a 1, if you're not above a 1, if you're at a 0.7, a 0.8, a 0.9 even, 0.4, or 0 on the ketones, you're not following ketosis. You're not in a ketogenic state. You're not on a keto diet. Period. End of story. I have a good friend of mine who has this great argument about how he doesn't have to check his blood. Yeah, I'm talking about you, Devin. He doesn't have to check his blood because he knows he's in a state of ketosis. All right, fine. Not me. I have to check every single day because I don't want to guess. I want to be 100% certain that I'm in a state of ketosis. I want to be 100% certain because I know as I've been reading, I just got this new book, just started reading Metabolic Freedom by Ben Azadi. It is really, really fascinating. I've been reading all about the liver. I told you I just ordered a book about the liver. You know, Dr. Boz she does a live every Tuesday night, by the way. Tuesday nights, 4 p.m. East Coast Standard Time. Go to Dr. Boz's live YouTube channel. I watch it every Tuesday. I can't get enough of this lady. I'm telling you, I'm a little obsessed. She's the smartest when it comes to this that I've ever heard, and I want to know everything she knows. And so I'm tuning in. Unfortunately, yesterday's live, she did a class on cholesterol and about how to talk to your doctor about cholesterol. And I know that it just takes me a little bit longer to learn things than perhaps everybody else does, but I'm going to have to rewatch that live episode she did yesterday, probably like 8 or 9 more times, because she lost me. I'm like, wait, what? She's like, all right, watch this. I'm going to explain cholesterol so that you can explain it to your doctor because your doctor's not measuring it right. I'm like, I'm in, because I'll tell you, my doctors, I go to VA, so I have VA doctors, and they are not fans of ketogenic diets. They're not fans of, let me get on this little soapbox. They are not fans of anything other than medical or pharmaceutical interventions when it comes to cholesterol, heart disease, diabetes, and all that. And I wonder, I'm gonna have to reach out because I know some people that work in the pharmacy industry. And I wonder if they would come on and do a live with me. And if anything else, I bet they'd be honest with me. Maybe not come on live and be honest with me, but I bet they'd be honest with me. When I worked in food service, for a long time in long-term care. I still work in long-term care. But when I worked in food service and long-term care, there were food companies that started offering us rebates for specific foods. Like, hey, if you, this month we have Jiffy peanut butter. I'm just giving an example. Jiffy peanut butter is the premium peanut butter, which is a little bit outside of our budget normally by $5, $8, $10 a case or whatever. And, when you work in nursing homes and you're feeding 200, 300 people a day, 3 meals a day, you go through a lot of food. So, buying cases of peanut butter is not unreasonable. And so it's normally the premium, which out of our price range. But Jiffy is offering a rebate. So if you buy 5 or more cases, again, I'm just giving a generic example, they'll give you a rebate that actually makes that Jiffy peanut butter cheaper than the generic peanut butter. And so we started buying our food every month based on company rebates. The more rebate that a company gave us, the more likely we were going to buy that food. Okay, we'll buy that brand. Oh, we're going to buy Purdue. Oh, we're going to buy Jiffy. Oh, we're going to buy Sunkist, right? Like whatever the food was, or the food manufacturer, the seller of the food. We literally started buying all the food based on rebates, because all of a sudden, and I mean overnight, rebate revenue became one of our biggest drivers of profit. One of our biggest profit centers was rebate revenue. I say that because I wonder if that's the same in healthcare. Do pharmaceutical companies offer rebates to hospitals and doctors' offices and clinics and nursing homes? There is the generic. You can buy the generic omeprazole. Or if you buy Prilosec, we're going to give you a rebate, because Prilosec's the brand name. And the rebate will make it cheaper than the omeprazole. And now you're essentially getting a kickback from the pharmacy, just like we would get a kickback from the food manufacturer. I don't know if that's how it works in the pharmacy healthcare industry, but I suspect, as Candace Owens would say, I don't know, but I kind of know no. I don't know, but I kind of know no. I suspect that's the way it is. And if that's true, then Dr. Boz, God bless her, coming out and going, what I think is happening is your doctors are basing their analysis on your cholesterol on old data, on old scientific study and explanation and understanding of how cholesterol is both measured. Because here's the thing I didn't know. Did you know this? Bad cholesterol is not measurable. What? I didn't know that. No, they measure cholesterol sizes, and there's 3 different or 4 different sizes. Maybe there's more than 4 different sizes, but there's kind of like 3 different categories. And they can't measure the lowest category, which is supposedly the most harmful. And so all they do is measure what they can, and then they do a simple math equation. And that's how they tell. Huh? What? Right? Like, so she's like, so the way that they do it now, it's based on inaccurate data, an inaccurate way of measuring. We know better now than we did 50 years ago. So you want to let me try. So Dr. Boz is taking a position, and God bless her for taking this position. She's like, let me explain it to you so that you can educate your doctor. Because it seems like if the doctor knew the truth being cholesterol is not the problem, inflammation is the problem. Not being in a state of ketosis is the problem. Eating processed foods and carbohydrates and sugar and all, that's the real problem. If they knew that, then they would not prescribe the medication. They would, the pharmaceuticals, they would prescribe healthy eating, healthy lifestyles. I just don't know. Let me just talk about my own doctor. I don't think my doctor gives one iota about whether or not I get healthy. He doesn't care could not care less. I went to a heart doctor, a VA doctor, a VA clinic that specializes in the heart. And I'm going to say, this is going to sound really, really, I mean it and I don't mean it at the same time. So, I mean, karma, gosh, I don't want any karma back on me. I just had a karma incident today. I know I'm all over the place. We're driving up here to my in-laws. We're on the road forever, interstate, you zone in and out, and, you're at 55 miles an hour, then you're at 65, then you're at 55, then you're at 65, and you're just trying to keep up, like slow down, all right, then you can pick back up. So apparently it had gone from 55 to 65, and I didn't catch it in time. So by the time I was like, oh, it's 65, I look and somebody is tailing me. And I'm like, All right. So I just move. Oh, I just get out of their way. I'm like, go ahead. And what do? They give me the finger. Why? Why give me the finger? Was I intentionally trying to slow you down? No. Are we 60 miles into a 65 miles? No. I mean, childish, whatever. I let him go, gives me the finger. I'm like, whatever. I swear, this never happens. I was so, I'm sometimes a bad person because as much as, I wanted to be like, oh, forget him. I am, in my own mind going, screw that guy. What the hell did you know, I should speed up and give him the finger. So stupid. But then we get like 20 miles down the road, and who's on the side of the road with a flat tire? His trunk open, him trying to get his tire out. The same guy. Oh, this is why I'm not the nicest person. I could not stop grinning from ear to ear. I was so happy. I was like, yes, karma for the win. Anyway, I told you that story to say this. The doctor at this heart clinic, in the VA heart clinic, in the whole department, like, she treated me so terribly, patronizing me, looking down on me, scolding me. I'm a 54-year-old man. 54. And with peace and love, she was heavier than me. She was bursting out of her scrubs, coming and waving her finger, wagging her finger at me, telling me that I have to get on a statin and I'm going to have to start taking shots. I left there thinking to myself, I would rather die than to go see that doctor again. She was terrible. Do you think for 1 second she has my best interest at heart, that she wants me to be healthy? She wants to make a difference in my life? You know what? Maybe it's just she doesn't understand. She understands. She understands where she's getting paid from. She understands where she's getting paid from. And same with my other doctor. My other doctor, and in VA, you don't have a lot of choice, You don't get a lot of choice for your doctors. You kind of got to, you get the doctor you get, and that's it. And you either go to the doctor or you don't go to the doctor. And, you can only treat a patient poorly for so many times. And then you're like, why am I even going? I'd rather just, that's why I'm knee deep here. It's why I'm knee deep here. And it's why you need to be knee deep here. It's why you need to subscribe and ring the little bell so you get notified every time, if not me, somebody comes on and is talking about this stuff. Somebody who is excited and jazzed and motivated to learn about. I'm motivated to learn this stuff for me, for my health. I don't want to die. I don't want to die soon. I don't want to be unhealthy. I don't want to be overweight. I don't want to be sick. I don't want to be diabetic. I don't want to have heart disease. I don't want to have Alzheimer's. And my doctors aren't willing to help me. In fairness, I do require a lot of hand-holding. I do ask a lot of questions. My doctors would rather me just shut the F up and take the stupid medication and get the hell out of their office because they have more people they need to sell medication to. I know. But I don't shut up. I push back. Like, I want you to take this. Why am I going to take that? I'm always like, why? Explain it to me. Convince me. I know that I'm not the smartest. I know that you might have to explain it 8 ways. Again, Dr. Boz, love her. She's made this whole thing so easy to understand for me. Except for the cholesterol. I'm still stuck. And I know it's my own shortcoming. It's not her teaching. I really don't understand the liver as much as I need to, I think, in order to understand what she's talking about. Because the liver both recycles, let me see if I can get it. I think the liver is responsible for both creating cholesterol and recycling it, although it might only be responsible for recycling it. So don't take my word for it. There is, I know that it's responsible for recycling it. And I know that so that the cholesterol growing through your blood gets filtered through the liver, and the liver recycles maybe the triglycerides that are in the cholesterol modules or drops or whatever they're again. I gotta watch her again. All right, the last thing I want to talk about before I get out of here. This has been super fun, by the way. I look forward to this every week, and if I again, if I, I'm just hoping I reach one person, just one person. Let me see if I can pull. I have, just in case you're new here. Yeah, here, look at this. Look at that guy. If this is you, if this is what you look like, if you can relate, look at this. Let me move myself. Look at this guy. Look at that waist. Look at that belly. That's a 4X shirt. It's a 4X shirt. And you can see the buttons are still under stress. I had a 48-inch waist. Look at this. Look at that face. That face is two of my faces right now. By the way, these are all me. This is me. If you look anything like this and you don't want to, my brother, my sister, you don't have to. The science is here. We know now what the problem is, and we know how to fix it. We know how to fix it. I met a great guy this week. I got my hair cut. You never know who you're going to run into. And the guy's cutting my hair. I don't know, for some way I weave in either if we talk for 5 minutes, I'm probably going to weave in running or the keto diet, my two passions. And I think I actually weaved in both to this guy. And we started talking about keto and fasting. And he's doing OMAD, 1 meal a day, and he's fasting for 24 hours or 23 hours. And some, he's done like a 24 or 36-hour fast. And I was telling him, like, this is my 15th week coming up, because it was last week, of doing a 72-hour fast. And he said, I'm really curious. How do you break your fast? Now, that's an interesting question, because I will say that me and my buddy Devin, we've been trying to do keto together since January of 2024. And again, I've never been successful until I met Dr. Boz. And so let me just put her little logo up here. Click that link. She has a class coming up in January called the 21-Day Metabolic Kick with Dr. Boz. This class changed my life. I am right now 58 pounds down in a nutritional state of ketosis for 15 or 16 weeks. I am sharper. I am clear. I'm never tired. I have more energy. I'm in a size 32 pants. When I started the Keto Continuum, when I started this class, the Metabolic Kick, I was in a size 36, and they were tight. They were tight. I could have went up to a 38 and been comfortable, but I was in a 36. I'm in a 32 right now. a 34 is falling off me. I mean, this is the size medium shirt. I mean, what are we talking about? Okay. Trust me when I say this class, click this link. This class will change your life. It's worth it. It is worth it. It is worth it. Anyway, so my buddy Devin and I, we have since January 2024 been trying our hardest to stay in ketosis or trying to get into ketosis. I only got into ketosis one time by myself. But we were also trying to fast. And we were fasting 24 hours. We'd fast for 36 hours, or I'm going to do a 72-hour fast. I remember I did a 72-hour fast, and my buddy Devin did a 72-hour fast. And it was like the hardest thing in the world for us. Like we were white knuckling it. And then when you're fasting, there's a lot of great videos out there about the benefits of fasting, about autophagy, all that stuff. And everybody has these protocols, like you should maybe start with a bone broth, introduce a bone broth, or slowly start eating again. Don't rush it. Don't just eat a whole meal, but like have a small bite and then another small bite. And then, maybe have a little bit of fat, like a little butter, and then add a little protein and then a little later do. I mean, let me tell you, today's a great example. I ate dinner today at 4:45. And the reason I ate dinner at 4:45 is because I was in the car until 4:45. But if I could have eaten dinner at 4:30, I would have. If I could have eaten dinner at 4, I would have. Because after 72 hours of fasting, I had my last meal at 4 o'clock on Sunday. So 72 hours hit, my 72-hour mark hit at 4 o'clock today. I was hungry. I mean, I was freaking, I wanted to eat. I would not, let me just take it easy. Let me drink a little bone broth. No. Give me a double cheeseburger with bacon on a lettuce wrap from Shake Shack. That's what I want. That's what I had. And it was, Shake Shack. Let me count the ways how much I love Shake Shack. They make such a great burger. I was craving. I couldn't wait for 4 o'clock. And then it's 4:10, and then it's 4:20, and then it's 4:30. I'm like, when are we getting there so I can have a Shake Shack burger? I have not had any issues with just eating a meal after a 72-hour fast. I will say that that's today. I have had a couple of issues. When I first started fasting 72 hours, and I would eat a meal, I still didn't slow into anything. I just ate because, again, after 72 hours, I'm freaking hungry. I did have to go right to the bathroom. Like I would eat and go like, oh no, have the runs and have to run to the bathroom. That was my first experience with the 72-hour fasting and eating again for like the first 4 or 5 weeks, honestly. But then it just kind of like my body, I don't know, I don't know, adjusted somehow. I don't know. Maybe my gut biome, I don't know what happened. But I don't do that anymore. I don't have that anymore. A couple of weeks ago, I did make a mistake, and I had made bacon, thick cut bacon in the oven. Yum. And I started eating it when I broke my fast. I broke my fast with bacon, and I might have been eating, right from the pan with the dripping, so the grease, and I'm like, oh, this is so amazing. And my stomach was killing me for like an hour. Like it was bad. I mean, I kind of went out of that. I'm like, okay, note to self, don't break your fast with bacon. Bacon's okay, but not bacon right out of the oven with all the bacon grease. That was way too much grease for my stomach. It didn't know. It was like, hey, too much here. Otherwise, I had a double cheeseburger with bacon on it in a lettuce wrap from Shake Shack at 4:45 tonight, and I'm good. It filled me up. It was delicious. It was exactly what I wanted. I will eat again tomorrow at 4 o'clock. It will not be Chinese food. I'm going to have to get something else, but I know everybody else is going to get Chinese food. I hope you all enjoyed today's video. Please, again, if nothing else, if you got anything out of this, please go ahead and put the thumbs up. I really do appreciate it. Just lets me know that you're here and you're getting some type of value. I hope you have a really, really wonderful Christmas. I will talk to you next week, and we're going to talk next week about the new year and the new you. I'm going to talk about new year and new me. I'm going into 2026 the healthiest I've been in 30 years. And you can too. I'll see you soon.